My name's Tristan White, and I'm really excited to be here with you. Hey, on today's show, we're going to talk about a self-assessment, self-assessing ourselves and our team culture to make sure that we actually are achieving what we said we want to achieve in terms of building a great place to work and a strong team. That's the goal for today. That's the theme for today. But first things first, a big welcome to you. Welcome to the Think Big, Act Small morning show. If you're here with me live, please say hello in the comments. If you're here on the replay, please do the same. We'd love to hear from you. I promise to circle back and come back and help you out with any questions or comments. If you prefer to get in touch offline, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au is the place to find me. Jeffrey's here. G'day, Jeffrey. Nice to have you with me. And hello to, sorry, I was distracted for a moment. I'm not sure my internet's working great this morning. Jeffrey, is it a bit bumpy this morning? If you'd let me know, that would be appreciated. Now, my name's Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. And to do that, I think we need to make sure that us leaders of service-based businesses are growing our leadership skills, which I often refer to our culture. Sorry, I often refer to our character. We need to improve our team culture by having a team culture by design. And lastly, we need to make sure that we're managing our cash flow, because cash flow is the oxygen that enables us to continue on and grow our businesses. I can see that Ruth's here as well. G'day, Ruth. Nice to have you with us on a Tuesday morning. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the regular crew at the Think Big, Act Small morning show. Now, today's topic is about the self-assessment of our culture, but a little bit of housekeeping. That is that this week, the last week of November, is going to be the last week of the Think Big, Act Small morning show for 2021. So today, the 23rd, and then Thursday, the 25th. And let me quickly check the calendar, because we might be able to squeeze one in the first week after that. So yes, next Tuesday, the 30th of November, will be the very last Think Big, Act Small morning show for 2021. So if you've been part of the crew, thank you so very much. We've got today, we've got Thursday, and we've got next Tuesday coming up. So let's get stuck into those. Jeffrey, I can see you've written here, signal slightly interrupted. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you filling me in. Hopefully that it doesn't get in our way too much. Alrighty. So team culture today, that's what we're going to focus on. And team culture self-assessment is more specifically the topic. And inside the Culture is Everything Club this month, the month of November, with the members that I've been working through there, we've been doing a reassessment or a self-assessment of the skills we've developed in terms of being a strong character, of the system we're developing for our team culture, and also our skills to developing and managing cash flow. And today, I want to touch on the culture part of it for everyone listening into the Think Big, Act Small morning show, because I think it's so important that as leaders, we build a culture by design and we put things in place in our business which helps us to make progress, to have a repeatable team culture that attracts the right people and repels the wrong people. But also, I think it's important we stop and check and have a self-assessment from time to time. And so with that in mind, let me share my screen here with over to this Culture is Everything checklist document. I shared it last week when we were talking about the Capturing the Memories, the culture book. But many of you will have already seen this. Will have already seen it. It was part of the Culture is Everything book that you have possibly read. If you haven't got a copy of this and you'd like another copy, please, there's a link in the caption for the post for this show. You can order a free copy for you or a friend if you'd like to. Similarly, the link to this Culture is Everything checklist is also in the post for this video if you'd like to download your own copy. But what I'd like to do today is not go through all 19 steps on this checklist. You can do that in your own time, but I would like to go through the 4 parts of the Culture is Everything checklist and ask you to rate yourself. Now, the rating system that we use is 0. You give yourself a 0 if you haven't made a start on a certain part of this checklist. You give yourself a 1 if you've made a start, but you sort of made a start, but you need to do a bit more work. And you give yourself a 2 if you've implemented, you've done good work on, let's say, a core purpose or core values for your business. You've done good work on that. I'm not saying you won't come back to it forever, but you're not going to come back for it for the time being. So a rating scale so there's 19 items on this checklist. If you're rating yourself out of 2 for all of them, then I guess it's out of 38 is the total checklist we're going to go through. So that's a concept, a self-assessment. But let me just talk through each of the sections for the time being, and then you can do the self-assessment on all of the 19 steps in your own time. I can see Carmel's here. G'day, Carmel. Nice to have you join the show this morning. So first section, discover the core. This section is really about core purpose and core values as foundational parts of your team culture. If you've got a short and easy to understand core purpose, which is item number 1 on this checklist, then you'd give yourself a 2 on that self-assessment item. If you move on to step 2 on the checklist, and it's can every team member recite your core purpose. Now, if you've got a core purpose but you haven't shared it, you haven't repeated it, and you haven't onboarded new team members and really made it clear that that's what this team exists for, then you may not be able to give yourself a 2 for that particular item. That is how the self-assessment work. Similarly, the next parts of Discover the Core is about core values. Do you have 3 to 5 core values that every team member can remember? Are they used in recognition and reward? Are they used in every team member's quarterly review? Are the 5 parts of Discover the Core. So self-assessment, maybe if you'd like to, if we're only skimming through it this morning, but if you'd like to, you can give yourself a 0, a 1, or a 2 for the section, and then dive into each of the specific parts later on if you'd like to. Let's move on to document the future. Item 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the checklist. This is about the vision for your business. So firstly, do you have a long-term vision that I like to call a 10-year obsession that acts as your North Star? It's really a long-term goal that we work towards. Jim Collins, in his famous book, Good to Great, wrote about the big, hairy, audacious goal, the BHAG, as he calls it. This is about the BHAG. I like to call it a 10-year obsession. The 10-year timeline works for me. And then secondly, under here, does every team member get regular updates on progress towards your 10-year obsession is item number 7 there. Items 8 and 9 is about the fact that a long-term vision and a long-term goal is really powerful for the business owner and the entrepreneur, but it can be too long-term for many team members to be focused on or to connect with, and therefore a 3-year more detailed, painted picture vision is what the next 2 steps are about. And so if we zoom out again, the section is document the future. It's about a long-term 10-year obsession or 10-year goal for your business that's more valuable for the entrepreneur, and a 3-year painted picture vision, which is more valuable and useful for the team members. That's what that one's about. Alrighty. Carmel writes here. Let me see what you write here, Carmel. This is about the Discover the Core section. 2 for the core, but 0 for reciting it. Yeah, okay. So you've got the core purpose, but you haven't got your team nailing it just yet. But there's your opportunity. There's the opportunity to move forward, Carmel. All right. 3rd of the 4 sections: execute relentlessly. This is about embedding the unique cultural rituals that you've got in your business and making sure they're embedded, they're repeated on a regular basis. Item 10, he says, do you have an energetic daily huddle that aligns everyone to the painted picture vision of your culture's future? Now, if you want to, you can adjust the wording there a little bit if you'd like to. That is it. Do you have a regular meeting rhythm that people know where to go, when to go, and what will happen at those meetings? And it might be daily, it might be weekly, it might be monthly. But as your business grows, if you choose to grow your business, then I think a daily huddle is really powerful. But if you've got a small team, then weekly and monthly meetings is appropriate too. So do you have a regular meeting rhythm is the first part. Number 11, is your culture reinforced with a short story around your core values at your regular meetings? Number 12, have you reverse engineered your long-term goals to then be able to give people some updates and details? You know what? This week we're seeing 12 new clients, and that will get us towards our 3-year painted picture goal, which keeps us on track to our long-term 10-year obsession. Information that lets people know how we're going is really helpful. It's like a scoreboard. So that is number 12. And do you have a robust recruiting process to make sure you're attracting zealots, people that are attracted to your culture, as opposed to maybes. Maybe they're right, maybe they're not. That is execute relentlessly. Section. Alrighty, fourth is show more love. Show more love. I'm not wearing my show more love t-shirt today. I should have been. But show more love. This is about the. Let me quickly find the words I like to use with this one, because I've got them just here nearby. And the for the show more love section, specifically, I like to say what we're doing here is locking in the human connections that support retention and happiness. Locking in the human connections that support retention and happiness. That's via the show more love section. There are 6 items here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but number 14 is really important, and that is, does every team member get a memorable and supportive welcome on their first day? A few weeks ago, we went deep into this as the importance of a welcome day. I think it's so very important that we onboard people to our culture in a really memorable, useful, and valuable way for them. Just remember that when a new team member joins your team, the entrepreneur or the people that are doing the onboarding, the training, are thinking things like, gee, I hope I've got all the documents ready. Oh, what's the roster going to look like for this person's new job? Oh, who's going to be their buddy? Or all these types of things that are very tactical or technical, while the new team member is thinking, man, what are these people going to be like? Have I made the right decision? Oh, maybe I should keep looking for another job. I'm not sure about this. The difference of what different people are thinking is really important around the welcome day. So spending time to make it valuable is really important. And the very last one I'm going to focus on for the show more love section is all the way to the bottom, and that is item number 19. Do you document your culture with an inspiring culture library or memory bank? And yes, we've talked about this recently on this Think Big, Act Small morning show, and that is that you do so much work of this. Please remember to capture the memories of your culture, and you can do that by a little video, a selection of photos, a little booklet, if you will, a mini website. So many ways you can do it, but don't forget to capture the memories of your culture. So they are the 4 sections, and if you'd like your own copy of that checklist, click on the link in the post for a self-assessment. But today's little show was about the fact that it's so very important that we do go back and do a self-assessment of important parts of our business and of our leadership, and self-assessment of the culture rituals and the culture system is what I'd love you to consider for today. Remember the scale? The scale was for each of those 19 steps, you give yourself a 0 if you haven't made a start on that just yet, or you don't know anything about it. You do a 1 if you've made a start, but you probably haven't embedded it as well as you could or should. And you give yourself a 2, which is, yep, that's in place, that's good. I don't need to focus on that for the time being. Let's move on to something else. And the beauty of this system is there's no right or wrong. There's a high score doesn't mean you're awesome, and a low score doesn't mean you suck. What it means is it will help you bring to light what is the valuable or the logical next thing to focus on as you bring your team culture to life. So I encourage you to give it a shot. That's about it for today's show. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts on the culture self-assessment, feel free to type in the comments and or send me an email, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au. Of course, happy to answer any questions now or anytime in the future. If not, we're going to wrap this up. It is 9 o'clock where I am in Melbourne time. This has been the Think Big, Act Small morning show. It happens at 8:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. Tuesday and Thursday mornings, Melbourne, Australia time. I'll be back on Thursday morning with another show. And then Tuesday of next week, which will be Tuesday, November the 30th, will be the very last show for 2021. And we'll be back with something similar and or different in 2022. But hey, let me just check what Carmel writes here. Self-assessment on my agenda for this week now, Tristan. Thank you. Oh, no worries, Carmel. Happy. I'm glad it was brought something important for you to consider. So that is excellent. Alrighty, have a great day. Remember, think big, act small. See you Tuesday. See you Thursday. Bye-bye.